Let's take you to the Western Cape, where in recent weeks, townships in the Cape Flats have faced an unprecedented wave of mass shootings. The first half of October has seen over 25 people losing their lives. This has prompted various responses. Today, the community of Gugulethu Policing Forum has organized a prayer service calling on divine intervention. And Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi Same is standing by. More so, Nasiphi, to outline what seems to be at the heart of the problem where this matter is quite stubborn.
As you put it, over 25 lives lost in communities along the Cape Flats or in the Cape Flats in just the first 16 days of October, a bloody half of the year. I mean, speaking to the MEC of Community Safety and Policing Oversight, Regan Allen, highlighting that looking at the crimes that are being committed in these various communities, particularly focusing on mass shootings, he says that it does seem like it is meticulously planned, hence why he has called on for an intelligence-led operations when it comes to SAPS, including law enforcement agencies. Just a few weeks ago, Gugulethu received additional boots on the ground. Minister of Police highlighting that to tackle the scourge of the mass shootings that we saw playing out in the communities, they have indeed not only added more boots on the ground, they did also place an acting station commander, including somebody that will also be looking at the detective services. But to talk to us more in regards to the issues that plague this community, particularly the community of Gugulethu that saw 2 mass shootings in the space of about a week. I'm joined by the chairperson of the Gugulethu Policing Forum. Sir, thank you so much for your time. But what seems to be the issue? 2 mass shootings in the space of 1 week.
Thank you very much. The reasoning behind the shooting, definitely, we don't know what is it. And we are interested to know what is it, because nobody came forth and explained exactly what is happening behind the scene. So we don't know what is the reasoning behind shootings. And we appeal to our community or to people that are involved to come forth and explain to us exactly what is happening. Maybe what can we do to help as a community?
What are some of the concerns that community members are actually raising?
Again, the concern, because the community were not aware exactly what is happening as a community. And what we are concerned also about the community, what we've seen, these shootings are planned elsewhere. And the way that they're executed, you'll find that it's multiple shootings that are happening. And most worrisome, when there are family events. And these shootings will also manifest themselves, in this kind of environment. And as a community, we are shocked as a community. And as I've said earlier on, we wanted to know exactly what is what is the reasoning behind these shootings.
The minister engaged CPF, including various stakeholders, a couple of weeks ago, in addition to the officers that have been added to Gugulethu to obviously patrol and quell the situation. Have we seen some sort of change in regards to the crime patterns in this community?
Definitely. We've got more boots on the ground. We've got more than 139 police that are deployed in Gugulethu. And we've seen a number of roadblocks that are also taking place, especially in the entry point and the exit point of Gugulethu, and also in the internal points of Gugulethu. So we are seeing there is a change on the ground. But again, we wanted to make sure that there is more intervention, more especially in the sectors where now they are getting inside what is happening into that particular into that particular sector, so that also we can make sure that we go exactly where there is a problem.
With this divine intervention that the CPF is calling for, obviously with various stakeholders, what are you hoping to achieve by this?
Steadily but surely, we want to make sure that we remember, as a CPF, we are a civilian organization. As a CPF, our job is to make sure that we mobilize community. After we've mobilized community, we wanted to build a relationship with SAPS. So we are doing this divine intervention to mobilize the community, because our hearts and the minds might not be in the right position. Now we wanted to make sure we encourage each other to make sure that our hearts and minds and also our souls are in the right direction, so that collectively we can combat the crime. Remember, crime, it's not a one-man mission. It needs the entire community. It needs street committees. It needs families. It needs everybody to come together to fight the crime. So we are building up this platform to make sure that we are mobilizing more numbers in Gugulethu to come together so that we can reduce the crime that is escalating to our communities.
Would it be fair to say that perhaps the CPF is concerned at the high caliber of ammunition and firearms that criminals are using? You know, dating back, we're looking at the robbery that occurred of the Golden Arrow bus. Would you say that you are quite concerned of the caliber of firearms that are being used by criminals?
Definitely. These are arms of war. It means the Gugulethu community is under attack, and somebody needs to stand up. And the first people who can stand up is the community of Gugulethu, because it's the same community that knows or who's got the leads. And it's the same community at the surrounding of Gugulethu also who knows or are aware about these attacks. So what we intend to do in today's prayer, we wanted to make sure that we appeal to community to come forth so that we can combat these types of violence that are taking place, or these types of attacks that are taking place in our communities. We need the members of the community to come together. This one, it needs the community, the entire community, to come together. Remember, as a community, if we stand together, we can defeat anything if we stand together. But if we are divided as a community, it means that we are not going to win anything as a community. And again, Gugulethu community is worried about especially the service delivery, because there is nothing much that is happening in the community of Gugulethu. There are no resources that are deployed into the community of Gugulethu to change the life, especially for our young men and young women within our community. So we appeal to people that are in a position of power, especially departments, social development, economic development, to make sure that at least they invest their resources to the community of Gugulethu.
The two mass shootings that claimed about 10 lives in the space of a week, police indicated that they were, hot on the heels of about 7, if not more, suspects. Up until to date, if I'm correct, there has been no arrests. Are you perhaps maybe concerned that it seems like criminals are getting away with literally murder?
Let the arm of justice take its course. Definitely, there are investigations that are in place. Maybe it's still premature to suggest otherwise. Let's give it a time, and then we will see exactly what will come forth. Remember, this is not a fixed incident. It happened, and then at some point we didn't catch up people, but in the long run, people were catched. The arm of law will catch you.
Thank you so much. CPF chairperson there of Gugulethu. It seems like the prayer service is transcending basically the operations that are being conducted by law enforcement agencies, calling on the community to band together and basically root out criminals. And as you mentioned, 25, if not more people killed in mass shootings, or rather lives succumbed to mass shootings in just a space of about 16 days is quite concerning. However, just a few days ago, the Minister of Police, Minister Bheki Cele, was in the community of Cape Town, the Western Cape, highlighting what the police, law enforcement agencies are going to be implementing going into the festive season, not only to protect and ensure visitors and travelers are safe, including the various communities. We then saw the collaboration between the various spheres of government, from city, provincial and national, who are saying that they'll be working together to basically quell the scourge of violence in these communities of the Western Cape, particularly focusing in the metro where most of the gang violence is occurring.
Nasiphi Same, thank you very much for that report.